old were you when you hit it big?
I was 29 when I retired for the first time.
You made $1,000 as a kid on a chain letter.
Yep.
So you're that guy who
I'm that guy.
who actually made money with one of those things.
Yeah, it was my junior year in college, and I had to figure out a way to pay for school. So they had one of these chain letters going around, and so I just said, okay, well, somebody's making money. So I would go around, and it was a deal where you gave me $50 and send $50 to the person at the top of the list, took him off, and then put your name at the bottom. And what I did was I helped everybody, all my friends, sell their version, so they got all their money back. And then it, you know, the power of networking, right? Back then, it just took off, and I spent the next few weeks just going to my mailbox every morning, collecting $50 checks and cashing them, and I paid for my junior year of college.
I was 27 years old. I was flat. I didn't have one penny. I was like negative in the bank. I had just gotten engaged, and I spent every penny I had on an engagement ring. And then I broke up. The girl lost the engagement ring, and I was nothing, right? But you just keep on grinding. You keep on grinding, and things happen.
You buy your jet online.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
And so you're in the Guinness Book of World Records
Yeah,
for
which
the
is
biggest
very cool.
online
Which is very
purchase.
cool.
Did they even have that set up online when you did that?
And that was via email. It wasn't like an online order, it was via email. And so I emailed the guy saying, hey, I'm interested in a G5, which had just come out. And he's like, cool. And I'm like, I've got a pilot already picked out. Can he test fly it? And the guy's like, yeah, we'll set it all up. Took the test flight, done, wired the money, it was mine.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
It's just really cool.
Yeah, and it feels really good to be able to do that too.
Biggest purchase, I bought a lifetime pass on American Airlines, and I had one mission in mind. I wanted to be able to go to as many countries around the world as I could and get drunk with as many people as I possibly could, and I was so good at it. I was just so good at it, you know?
Follow your effort, not your passion.
Follow your effort, what do you mean by that?
What I've learned is that people, if you really want to be successful at something, you'll find that you'll put the time in, that you won't just ask somebody if it's a good idea. You'll go figure out if it's a good idea. You'll figure out what the elements are that are required to make it successful. You'll do the work.
Yeah.
You know, Bobby Knight, the basketball coach from Indiana, where I went to school, used to say, everybody's got the will to win, but it's only those with the will to prepare that do win. And if you find yourself putting in the time, if you find yourself being prepared, you know, then there's a good chance that you can make something of it.
How about as a little kid? Were you an entrepreneur as a little boy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, as long as I can remember. I mean, I did everything. I did the paper boy thing when I was with my brother when we were real little bit. My first, like, really startup company was selling garbage bags door to door. My dad and his buddies were playing poker, right? And I'm 12 years old, and I'm like, Dad, I want some new basketball shoes because I've been a basketball junkie my entire life. He's like, look, you know, my dad did upholstery on cars, so if you had a rip in your car seat, you know, normal blue collar guy, great guy, and so he's playing poker at our house on Thursday night with his buddies. I'm like, Dad, I need some new shoes. I want these basketball shoes. He goes, when you have your own job, you can buy whatever you want. But until then, those shoes in your feet, they're working just fine. And one of my dad's buddies, who's probably drunk, I didn't know any better, pipes up and goes, I got an idea for you. I can get you a job. I'm like, what? He goes, I've got these garbage bags, right, that I can't get rid of. Why don't you go door to door and sell these garbage bags? I'm like, sure. So I started knocking on doors the next day. Who's going to say no to a little kid selling?
Cold calling, right?
Oh, cold calling, you know, knock, knock, knock. Hi, my name is Mark. You use garbage bags all the time in your house, don't you? Yeah. There was $6 for 100 garbage bags. And I'm like, don't you need garbage bags?
That's a good deal.
It's a great deal, right? So I'm like, I'll come by every couple of weeks when you need a new box, and it's $6. No one said no. I'm like, this is easy. You know?
You made a killing. Did you give the guy, so how much money did you have to pay the guy?
No, I was a shark back then. I'm like, you know, I paid $3 a box. So I was making, you know, 100% markup on it. And so, you know, I'm selling 10 boxes a week, right? You know, that's $30 walking around money when you're 12 years old. I was killing it.
That's unbelievable.
It doesn't happen overnight. There's no quick solutions. There's not a single template for winning a championship. If there was, everybody would do it. And so you just have to ignore people from the outside and just really, you know, stick to what you know and try to get smarter and put the team, be opportunistic. I mean, that's what the Dallas folks have heard me say forever. We're just going to be opportunistic in building a team.
like if I'm really into something that I'm doing work-wise, then I'll dream about it. And so if I've got a business like, the micro solutions business we talked about, one of my older businesses, I would just dream about work all the time. I would, I'd wake up and write down notes or go online and do something. And so it's typically when I'm really intense about something work-wise, that's what I dream about. Otherwise,
Have you ever, in your dreams, found the answer that you were looking for
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
broke through a big deal? It's happened while you were sleeping?
No question. There are things like particularly when I was writing software, and there was something I just couldn't figure out, right? Just while I was sitting there in front of a computer, then you'll go through in your minds, and programmers will tell you this all the time, and then you're dreaming and you wake up like, dang, that was it, boom, and that
Ran
that's
right
all-
to the computer, did
ran
it.
right
and-
there, done.
You get in trouble a lot. How
You know,
come?
because I just don't give a shit, right?